What's going on, you guys? Wow, we've got our article for X-Wing Wave 12, Bring on the Alpha Strike, and it is magnificent. So let's take a look at some of these ships. They are just, now we can finally see them in high res. We can see that new firing arc there. Wow, so let's take a look at these things. So first off, we've got, you know what, I want to take a look. Let's look at this guy first. So first, let's look at the ships themselves. There's a lot of interesting stuff we can see here. So we've got Major Vinder. Like first, I want to talk about for like the just the ship card itself. So we've got 2 attack for our Alpha class Star Wing. We've got 2 attack, 2 agility, 4 hull, and 3 shields. So pretty tough. All right, but now look at the point cost for our PS7. 26 points. That's not bad. I mean, so our PS2 is probably going to be, somewhere around 23, 22, somewhere in that ballpark. So a lot of toughness here. 7 basic hit points with 2 agility. That's you got a fairly survivable ship right off the bat. So that's good. Now we've got focus and target lock. And we've got slam and reload, and we're gonna get to reload. So reload is actually a really cool new action, so I'm a big fan of that. So alright, so that's our basic ship card. Now look at what else we've got. We've got torpedo, missile, and EPT. Alright, so alright, obviously your gunboat's gonna be able to get loaded up, right? The Star Wing is getting loaded up, but now our XG1 assault configuration title that we're gonna take a look at that some more, but it looks like we got a couple of other things here. So first off, we've got these new jam tokens. Now the jam is already in action for huge ships, and we've started to see like some jam, we started to see coordinate become an action on regular play. And so at first you might think, well, is this the same jam? It certainly doesn't appear that way because there's no jam in the action bar, but there is something called Jim Beam. It's Jim Beam. So this is basically you can bring alcohol with you while you're flying. No, I'm guessing jammer beam or jamming beam, and it's gonna have, that's probably what's gonna assign these tokens. And so they're also talked about. And so this is different than the jam that you would get with huge ships. So this is something slightly different. But we've also got advanced slam, OS1, something like that. Jam beam, cruise missile, Lindy, I don't know. But yeah, so something about small ship only, something about when you're attacking with cannon, so something like that. So some cannon stuff over there, but not a whole lot of info here. We see a 3-turn, so this guy might be pretty fast. It's not Gred, so it's more maneuverable than a B-wing at least. So that much is good. We've got the weapons disabled token, and we see that's actually from the jam. And let's see, let's find it. There we go. So this is the important part, because we're getting these reference cards, and I'm glad that they gave us reference cards. So first, let's talk about the jam token itself. So it looks like the jam token is going to cancel out, a focus or evade or blue target lock. So what it looks like is when a ship has both a jam token and a focus, evade, or blue target lock, remove the jam token, then that ship chooses and remove one of its focus, evades, or blue target locks. A ship is jammed if it has a jam token. So if you're able to put a jam token on somebody, then it's instantly going to remove it, and then they pick what, you're instantly going to pick one of their tokens and remove that. If they get a jam token, but don't have a focus, it looks like the jam token is going to remain until they eventually, so the next time they focus, it's gone, or the next time they take an evade, it's gone, but then the jam is gone as well. So it basically, it's when. So at any time the ship happens to have both a jam and one other thing, then it looks that will go away. So jam looks interesting. It looks like a way to kind of, it's like better, in some ways it could be better than a stress, right? So let's take a look at reload. So ships with the reload icon in their action bar may perform a reload action. To reload, choose any number of the ship's equipped discarded torpedo or missile upgrade cards and flip them face up. Then assign the ship a weapons disabled token. A ship with weapons disabled token assigned to it cannot perform attacks. All weapons disabled tokens are removed during the end phase. So we've seen weapons disabled already. This is just clarifying, that you can't attack, but all of your weapons. So if you happen to get weapons disabled for some other means, and then also took a reload, or if for some reason you had 2 weapons disabled token, you'd still remove all of them during the end phase. But this is a way for you to refresh your torpedoes and missiles. So if you had a torpedo and a missile, you might not need extra munitions, right? And instead, you might want to, instead of spending extra munitions on your torpedo and then doubling up on your missile, you can instead just put a torpedo and a missile on there, fire them both, and then reload whenever you need to. And considering that this ship has slam, it might not even want to shoot that turn anyway, so it may just reload. And thinking about, it's definitely maneuverable. So like the idea is get really far away, then reload and come back and shoot some more, right? That's kind of the idea with the Star Wing. So yes, the Star Wing is going to be nice. Let's look at what else we get. Oh yes, we get the XG-1 Assault configuration, Alpha class Star Wing only title. By the way, this is the first small ship for the Empire that doesn't start with TIE, or that doesn't have TIE in the name. So that's actually really, really cool. So your upgrade bar gains 2 cannon upgrade icons. You may perform attacks with cannon secondary weapons that cost 2 or fewer squad points, even when you have a weapons disabled token. Now the thing is, what I'm not crazy about here is cannot perform attacks. So whenever you have a rule that says cannot and can, the cannot's always supposed to trump it. Now obviously the intent here is that this is going to supersede the other one. I'm just not a big fan of the wording. But I don't know if there was a better way to word it. But normally the rule is that cannots tend to trump cans. However, this one specifically is pointing that out, so I don't think there's going to be any rules lawyers who really try to say that you still can't shoot this way. But you have to use 2 or fewer squad points. So you're looking at, your really cheap, your tractor beam and stuff like that. So, and I'm guessing that one of the cannon slots that come with it is going to be 2 or fewer. So that's that's the idea. Is you're getting your utility cannons as opposed to your power cannons. So if you don't want to joust away and then turn around and come back, you can still support your fleet build by maybe tractoring the enemy team. And doing that sort of. And really the only utility cannon that you can't use here is the ion cannon, because it costs 3, and so that would be really nice if you could ionize people. But you can flechette or tractor right now, so that's something. So that's interesting. And plus you don't even need to necessarily do that. You could maybe just put a heavy laser cannon on this if you wanted to. You might not even need to use the second one. I mean, how many times the IG-88s really use multiple different cannons, so is for being only the second ship to have 2 cannons. I'm pretty sure that's right. I don't think that's such a big deal. So let's see what we have next. All right, the Kimogila. I'm gonna call it the Kimogila. But I think it's supposed to be Kimogila, but I really like Kimogila so much better. So say it with me, Kimogila. It sounds so much cooler. It sounds like a villain in a movie. I believe it's some type of lizard, right? A Kimogila. So the M12L Kimogila fighter. This thing is interesting looking. I kind of like the look of it. And then we can get a better look at the bullseye firing arc, which we also got our reference card to talk about that. That's kind of like the big thing here, is the bullseye. So it looks to me like the bullseye is about the same width as your range ruler. So that can kind of give you an idea of, if somebody is, at that range. So if you wanted to like test it out and to kind of see how effective that is, because I think at range 3 you're going to have them exactly lined up. It seems like it's a lot easier to have somebody in your bullseye firing arc if you're at range 1. And a lot more difficult to have somebody in your bullseye firing arc at longer ranges. So yes, looks like we've got some jam tokens over here that come with it, and we also got some weapons disabled tokens that come with it. So let's see, what can we see here? We got some kind of contra cyber continued cybernetics. I don't know, but it's the illicit that comes there. We've also got dead switch. Is that the dead man switch? We already have that one. Saturn Station, I don't know what that is. We got 2 EPTs back there. We got plasma torpedoes, scram missile, so scrambling missile, scrambled egg missile. It's a scrambled egg missile, and an R5 TK, which is probably a salvaged astromech, because look at the ship itself. We're going to look at the ship itself. We also got the Enforcer title for the Kimocula only. Somebody's gonna hate me for calling it Kimocula, but I think that's the best way to pronounce it. After defending, if the attacker is inside your bullseye firing arc, it receives a stress token. So that's not bad, you know. It's kind of, it's definitely reminds me of the feel that you get, you know, with Fen Rao and you know, your Protectorate starfighters. You know, get right in their face them, you know, gun them down head on. But let's look at the ship itself now. Our pilot skill 8 here, which is pretty high, only 27 points. This is a 3 attack ship, only 1 agility, 6 hull, and 2 shields. So again, now we're getting 8 hit points in this thing. This is tanky. And this is really the, I don't know, I hate to call it power creep, but that's I think it's the best word for it. Is we're just getting so much more hull on and so much more survivability and so much more life and just raw hit points on all of our ships now that some of the earlier ships just can't really compare. But look at this. I mean, 8 is nice, you know. It's very nice. So and now it does have a 4K, so that tells me it's going to be moderately fast. So after you perform, I'm expecting. I mean, it's really hard to tell what a 4K, right? What the 4K is going to look like. But I'm guessing the closest thing, maybe an X-wing, maybe similar to an X-wing's dial. I don't know. You really can't tell anything from a 4K. You know, so after you perform an attack, this is Torin Kolga, right? Kolda, Torin Kolda, Torani Kolda. I can't even read that, but yes, Torani Kolda. Oh, maybe I'm saying it wrong. Yeah, it looks like there's an I at the end of that. But yeah, so after you perform an attack, each enemy ship inside your bullseye firing arc at range 1 to 3 must choose to suffer a damage or remove all of its focus and evade tokens. That's nasty, and the bullseye already stops them from spending, you know, bullseye focus and evade tokens. So that's just nuts. And the funny thing is, each enemy ship. So, like, maybe you're shooting somebody who's not even in your bullseye firing arc, and then you're stripping him. This guy looks like insanely good. That's like one of the best abilities I've seen in a long time. I mean, we'll see how hard it is to actually line people up, because how likely is it that you can actually have somebody put all their ships in a row facing this guy? All right, so it's almost that's never going to happen, right? Maybe you go against a TIE swarm or whatever. I mean, who's ever going to do that? Especially since we just saw the harpoon missile, right? Like nobody's ever going to fly a lot of stuff that people are really. I don't know, maybe this would be a fun time to just start flying TIE swarms. Like, fine, counter it. You know, like, I don't know. I don't even think that many people would do it. But let's look at what else we got on this ship. So we got, you know, focus and target lock. Got barrel roll and the reload. Okay, so we've already saw reload. That's why we have our weapons disabled tokens. Again, I'm seeing jam tokens, so I'm guessing something on here is going to give you jam during your phase. Blah, blah, blah. All right, so... but we also have, so we have an EPT on this guy. Looks like we have torpedo and missile, salvaged astromech, and illicit. So reload does not refresh your illicits. So, but we've already got scavenger crane for that, right? So there's other things that can potentially refresh illicits, but reload is not going to do that. But a lot of stuff that you can put on this guy, a lot of synergy with the new expansion. I'm most excited about that bullseye firing arc. Let's find the reference card. So this is actually a really good reference card because it's giving you an example of what is and what isn't. So bullseye firing arc reference card. When attacking, if the defender is inside your bullseye firing arc, the defender cannot spend focus tokens to modify defense dice or evade tokens to add evade results. So they can if they have an effect. Yeah, you know, like if they've hit glitter stem or something like that, they can still, you know, they can still spend their focus that way. But yeah, that's going to be tough. That's going to be pretty tough to deal with because so many people rely on stuff like that. You can still Palpatine. You can still, you know, modify dice in other ways. But that's just nasty. And the thing is, all of them get that. Even your generics get that ability because if all you need to have is just the you know, the bullseye firing arc printed on your ship. So that is really, really cool. I think this may be the star of the wave, even though, you know, I'm sorry, the gunboat has like been sought after forever, but this thing, because it still applies to generics and it's just an innate ability of the ship itself, and it's the only ship that's pretty cool. I'm actually really, really impressed with that, and it's really going to reward a skilled pilot, so that's going to be very, very fun. So that's exciting. That's very exciting. Well, let's look at the Sheathipede class shuttle, the Phantom 2. I really like the sculpt on this thing. I have some pictures up, so if you want to see some close-up pictures, I uploaded those. I'll put a link to that at the end of the video. But now we've got a Phantom 2. We've got 2 new titles, so this can dock with the Ghost, as predicted. I think I said that in the when they first announced it. But yeah, it looks like it has the coordinate action. So again, we're seeing, like, you know, huge ship type stuff, right? This is now the second ship that can coordinate. That's cool. And we've got Fen Rao as our pilots. All right, let's start at the top. Our pilot skill 9, Fen Rao, only 20 points. So this is gonna be a real cheap shuttle. That much is cool. Only 2 attack, but we do have the front and rear. So right, we got the auxiliary rear firing arc. You can take a crew, so if you want to, you know, tail gunner or something like that, that's a possibility. 2 agility, 4 hull, 1 shield. Not terribly survivable, but not bad, especially for pilot skill 9 for only 20. I bet you that one, I don't know, that one is going to be cheap, probably like TIE Fighter price, maybe even, I don't know if we'll ever see less than, you know, less than a TIE Fighter. But, so we have Ezra also, we have Zeb, and then there's a dot, and this looks like the letter A, so I'm going to guess that that's AP5, because it's unique, and he's the only unique I can think of that would have a really short name, because AP5 would fit there. So that's what it looks like. So the Sheathipede class shuttle, we see our dial over here, 3 banks. It doesn't tell us a whole lot, but then it looks like the only upgrades we're getting is a crew and a astromech. So it's going to be different than your previous shuttle, because now we can't put a turret on here, but we can shoot to the rear, so that's all right. But the astromech is going to be nice. Now, it does look like we're getting, I'm guessing this is a chopper astromech all right over here, so that's pretty cool. I've wanted to see a chopper astromech ever since the episode with the B-Wing from Rebels, since, you know, they first put him in there as functioning as an astromech. So it's good that we can do that. We've got Cougar, it's not unique, something over here, and Scum. Oh, this is M. So is this Maul? I think it's supposed to be Maul. Yeah, because I've seen some people on the forums talking about Maul, so this is probably Maul. But the interesting thing is, it starts off, it says Scum only, and then some other stuff. So basically, it's going to obviously be a way that you can run him with Rebels, probably, you know, so some other condition to be able to, you know, Scum, or maybe it's just Scum only, Rebels only, and maybe he's got additional restrictions on him. So Maul is there. We've got some new Phantom and another astromech too. So another thing, when you see astromechs, any new astromech is potentially, you know, a boost to the T-65 X-Wing. So for those of you who want your X-Wing fix, you know, pay close attention to these things. So that's nice. But let's look at what this does for the Ghost. So first off, we have our new Ghost title, and equip the Phantom 2 title card. So I'm so glad that they did this, right? Because it makes sense. It would have been a real shame if they did this and didn't give you a new Ghost title or whatever. And it's worded perfectly. So there's a separate Ghost title that's equip the Phantom 2, as opposed to equip the Phantom, right? So equip the Phantom 2 title card to a friendly Sheathipede class shuttle and dock it to this ship. After you execute a maneuver, you may deploy it from your rear guards. So that's the same. Right, it's just letting you put the Sheathipede 2 on there, no problem. The Phantom 2. All right. While you are docked, the Ghost can perform primary weapon attacks from its special firing arc. Okay. While you are docked, at the end of the activation phase, the Ghost may perform a free coordinate action. So that's different. So we don't get a free turret shot. So my first thought is I would usually rather be able to take an extra twin laser turret shots, ever since they changed twin laser turrets to basically count as one attack. So that's like a really nice aspect to that. But then at the same time, sometimes a coordinate is going to be better. So I like that it gives you options, and I also like that this isn't a must. Like, it's not a complete upgrade over the other one. It's like some lists may want this, some lists may want the original Phantom. I'm at the point right now I still prefer the original Phantom, but there's going to be lists right here that really, really are going to have people that want a coordinate action, because this is at the end of the activation phase for you to give out free coordinate action. So maybe there's a lot of options here. Movement, maybe you're going to have somebody barrel roll out of being in front of an obstacle or something like that. There's who knows. There's a lot of possibilities here. So I think that's very good, especially maybe for your lower pilot skill ordnance carrying ships, to be able to get a target lock on somebody later on, because it's harder for them to get a target lock on the ship they want to, because it's usually moving after them. So here's a way to do that. But yeah, guys, that is everything. I'm going to scroll back to the beginning here. We're going to take a look at all three of these ships. That is our article for today. Now, in the coming weeks, it's probably going to be a little while, but we will start seeing individual articles where they show you more of what comes with each of these ships. I will definitely keep you posted on that, so definitely stay tuned. If you haven't already heard, though, you can win one of these ships if you would like to. How would you like to win one for free? We can win two. Well, you probably can't win two. I'm not going to pick the same person twice, unless, of course, that's what it gives me. So I'm doubling my giveaway. So you're going to, all you have to do to enter is to be a subscriber, leave a comment on this or one of my videos. I'm going to announce the winner sometime in the middle of next week. So it's going to run for first I will announce one winner, and then I will announce a second winner. And these are for a $20 Cool Stuff gift card that you can use to buy one of these expansions or anything else that Cool Stuff has. It doesn't even have to be for this. If you play a different game, you can do that, or you can save it up for Star Wars Legion or something like that, or whatever you want to use it for. But yes, that's going on. So I'm going to announce the first winner in the middle of next week, and then I'm going to wait a few days and then announce the next winner. I'm not going to do them both at the same time. So if you don't win the first one, there's still a chance for you to win the second one. So that is our article, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and make sure you stay tuned. Click the little bell for alerts. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment. Let me know which is your favorite ship in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great day.